Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the King Dems Podcast. And today I have with me a very special fighter. Make welcome, fighting out of Gauteng, Johannesburg, South Africa, the reigning, undefeated, undisputed Bantamweight Champion of the world of the Brave CF, Nicholas, the Saint. How are
That's
you,
it.
brother?
That's it. You got it.
Whoa, big up to you. Big up to you.
Oh,
Just
thank
before we
you.
started the pod, right? I was trying to bestow a new nickname on you, and you rejected my nickname I wanted to give to you. I said the fighting pride of Zimbabwe.
Hell
And you're
no.
like, oh, that is good. That is going to be a red flag.
That's a red flag already.
But then there's some, will I say some tint of red, on the Zimbabwean flag, right? It's mostly green. It's like green, yellow, but then there's some tint of red on the flag.
Yes.
So so you see that is a red flag on its own.
It
And
is a red
there's
flag on
this
its own.
banter. There's a banter between Zimbabweans and Nigerians, and then they say, "Oh, Nigerian men are red flags." And see, tell me, this is the map of this is the flag of Nigeria. I have my flag. I'm proud of my country, bro. See, this is my country's flag. This
Wow.
is my country's flag. Do you see
Damn.
any red on it?
Come
Do you
again?
see any red on it?
No. You guys need
Do
to
you
hold
see any
standards.
red?
I can see.
But then you guys are always saying we are red flags. Why? So basically, congratulations on being the Brave CF Bantamweight Champion. Like, how does it feel to be at the top of your division in Brave CF?
Yeah, it feels good. It's just that the problem with me is I become a champion earlier in my career. So with only 3 fights EFC, I become a champion. So it's like 3 of my fights in EFC out of 6, I fought for championship. I was fighting for championship rounds. I was a champion undefeated. So when I fought for this also, I was like, I'm used to this. But I'll tell you that the first time I got the title, yeah, that's the time I was like, hell, this is so awesome. Now it's like a walk in the park.
Or walk in the park or walk in the garden.
That's it.
I hope to see you, making into the UFC, headlining cards in places like MSG. And then I'll be like, yeah, it's not just a walk in the park, it's a walk in the garden,
A walk in
just
the
like our
garden.
Adesanya, a boy. But then, like, so far, what would you say, like, has been the toughest, fight of your career?
The toughest fight of my career is when I fought the legend Zulu. Because I fought 5 rounds with a broken eye. Like my eye could not see. It
Wow.
was really damaged. First round, like first minute. So I fought like 5 rounds. Each and every round, my body was shutting down. And Zulu is a
Wow.
legend. Zulu is a guy that is a killer, So fighting him like that for 5 rounds and then win the fight, I would say that was the toughest of them all. The rest, yes, I get to decision because I was like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get carried away. Let me keep on holding back. Let me keep on coming. Let me enjoy the moments. So that's why some of the fighters I get to decision. It's not like they were hard. It's just that I was like, let me enjoy. If he's a wrestler, let me wrestle him more rounds so that I have the experience. If he's a striker, I'll strike with him. I want to have the experience. So I was not going crazy, I was not desperate to win. Yeah. So I'd say some of the fights I was just enjoying, But with Zulu, I
But then that's a lot of adversity. What would you say you learned about yourself in that fight? It's crazy going 5 rounds with a broken hand.
yeah, the broken arm, it was a broken arm. So I could not see, I had to change the game plan. I had to start to wrestle. And Zulu is a dynamic striker, well versed in everything, he's a legend. So to me, I started to use my heart. Like I would rather die. When you see yourself, you're gassing yourself out and you cut a lot of weight. That was the hardest of the all.
Yeah, that's crazy. Weight cuts does affect the the gas tank of an athlete. When you cut
Yeah.
to a lot of weight, it's difficult. Even though you try to rehydrate, there isn't much time between the weigh-ins and the fight itself for you to rehydrate to be somewhere close to your walk around weight. So it's a lot of stress and strain on the athlete. How would you say you got into MMA, and like who were your biggest inspirations growing up?
Well, I would say I didn't have any aspirations to become an MMA fighter. So I
So,
rather
so
did
how, so how did it happen?
I so many
MMA
dreams,
chose you.
So what happened is I then finished my ordinary level in Zim. So as
Oh,
you know,
level. Wow.
Zim still down on terms of economy. So I had like let me go to South Africa and looking for a job.
But there are a lot of brilliant people from Zimbabwe.
You
Like
know,
the kids of Zim are always beating people all over the world in mathematics. Like, what's up?
what's going on? So yeah,
You guys seem to be academically bright from that part
yeah,
of the world.
yeah. It's like everything we have to work hard to get everything. It's not
Mm.
longer like given like schools that I'm seeing here now these days, they don't beat kids. Come on, come on. We used to be killed with
Uh,
teachers, not beat them.
yeah,
Wow.
same thing with Nigerians.
So,
Same,
so
so
like
now I see why Zimbabweans and Nigerians get along well.
you see,
We
yeah.
have similar backgrounds and culture.
Teachers really. I would be scared to go to school. I would be scared to fail.
Wow.
Like we have to do whatever it takes to pass.
Wow. That's like
Yeah.
the core African background. But then, like academics, then you now going into the sport of MMA, like how did he work out?
Well, so as I said earlier on, as a young guy, of course, I watched movies. I just enjoy to train, do karate, watching movies, practice those things. So I was actually flexible. But when I come to South Africa in 2016, that's when I saw EFC and I was like, I can do better than these guys.
There's always that thing like you be like,
Exactly.
what are these guys doing? I can whoop I can whoop these
Plus,
guys.
plus, more inspiration was coming from watching movies. So it was like,
Uh,
what you see in the movies and what is real thing was different. So I was like, I can do
yeah.
better. You see the problem there. That was it.
Then at this point you're having a superiority complex. Like
Exactly. I'm already saying this is inferior. I can do better. I've been watching movies. I've been watching Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris fight better. Yeah. Oh, that was great.
now I'm interested in knowing what your first gym experience was like.
So of course, we do Kyokushin. Kyokushin is like we don't punch each other on the face. We play. So my first time when I came, I'm like, I can do better. I was in the gym of Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I tried to
Okay.
kick a guy, they take me down, they start beat me, they choke me. So it's like I got, they were putting me to sleep before I did, like so many times. That was crazy.
Very, it's crazy,
Yeah,
especially when you have a striking background and you go jiu-jitsu and you see these guys can like mess you up in real time. And like, okay, what's happening? What's
hey,
happening?
what's
The
happening? Yeah,
techniques.
yeah.
Grappling is a different
But
ball game.
actually, as I was doing those things, I couldn't afford to pay for the gym. So I was doing those menial jobs, to sustain myself.
Oh
So
wow.
sometimes they could just say, Nicholas, you are strong. There is a fight. Do you want to fight? So just say yes. Actually, I fought like 3 fights without a gym, just winning those fights and, amateur
Wow.
fights.
Amateur.
Amateur.
Okay.
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
the first time I lost with a rear naked choke. And
Wow.
from that day, that's when I realized, no, I have to
Really?
train.
And it's quite a technical choke to defend because the instinct is to pull this hand that is choking you, but then
Uh-huh.
it's the other hand that secures the choke. So if you attack the other arm, right, you have a good chance of defending the choke. But basically, that is where technique, beats just raw strength. And a lot of people don't realize that you need that technique in order to be a good fighter. But when you started training, I know you can attest to that, right?
It's true. Yeah, I was just
With
using power
technique.
unnecessarily, like I'm using power, I'm getting fatigued, I'm losing, like everything I'm doing, I'm the one getting tired while my opponent is still fresh. So I didn't understand that what is happening here. So wait, so the first time I lost, the guy put me to sleep, like, so I then like, okay, I need to start to train. Then they humbled me, like it's like starting afresh. Yeah, I really started afresh.
Oh,
I started afresh.
it's- but then, how did that go? Like, what made you decide to go pro?
So as I was training, one of the guys said, since you wanna do this, you can't just do this jiu-jitsu because you're not gonna earn money in it. But if you do MMA, one day you're gonna start to earn money. So as I'm doing those menial jobs, like I'm a dagger boy, I was working a construction site, it was painful for me. I then said, okay, I'll start to fight. So all my amateur was delayed in a sense that I had to go to work, I had to go to train, I had to go to work, I had to train. So I had like I turned professional like 2021. Yeah.
2021, and you're world champion in 2025 as we speak. That is amazing. That's actually very inspirational. It's inspiring, that people can achieve their dreams no matter where you're coming from. What really matters is not where you're coming from, but where you're going to. If you have, that determination, you have a vision, and you actually set on that mission, you will achieve what you set out to do. The human mind is very powerful, and I'm really grateful having somebody like you on the platform, right? Because for me, one of the major reasons why I did start this podcast is if you see the category that it is under on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it is under self-development and education. Basically, we set out to educate people and also to inspire people. A lot of people doubt themselves. A lot of people need and seek inspiration, and it's really refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air having individuals like yourself who have been able to pick themselves from really low points in life and achieve things that a lot of people want to achieve. Not everybody's going to be a world champion, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be a world champion, but so many people set out to become world champions, and a grass to grace story is always appreciated, Yeah,
Oh.
your life story can be scripted, and be a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
crazy.
wow,
Yeah, I know, like,
wow.
if you put your mind into something, I'm sure. But with
Um,
me, I never wanted to train to become a champion. That's a problem.
um,
So for me, I think,
so just an opportunistic.
no, it's like, I was like, I don't have a job and I want to take this as my job. When others are waking up in the morning going to work, I will also get up in the morning going to train so that I can feed
Mm,
myself, I can pay my rent. So I noticed that by doing so, I train more than others. I become stronger more than
mm,
others because others, they take it as a
mm,
hobby. They're like, I have put my things that I do during the day. So I'll find an hour or so that I'll go to train. So for me, it's like I wake up in the morning, I go to train. That's my job. When I come back home, I'm just coming back home to eat, and then I go back again to train. So also when I'm training, I'm like, when the pay comes, it's not gonna come half. I want it full. Like I don't wanna lose. I want my pay in full. I already calculated. I know what I'm gonna buy with that money. So it's no longer like a hobby, like it's hustle, part hustle. So with me, it's like my full-time job, training. And so maybe that's why I'm getting stronger and being able to become a champion. And yeah, if you put your mind in it, also I'm finding myself like, I think I love to do this kind of job because it gives me chance to stop there. Like I'm my own boss, I, I do my own thing, and no one is saying if you don't go to train, you're not gonna get money. Today you're feeling down, you're not gonna. So for me, it's like I go because I want. I train because that's what I do.
so you get to do everything at your own pace, being your own boss. You were talking about money the other time, right? So there's this banter that is always good on social media, saying Zimbabwean men are stingy. But then some Zimbabwean guys come to the defense and say, no, we are not stingy, we are economical.
I think we
The-
are both, like when you
You're
come
both.
from nothing, you appreciate
Mm,
everything. So sometimes
mm.
uh, growing up we don't have anything, and some people are just spoiled, in a certain way that they know if they ask you for something, you're gonna give me. When the mothers, mom, give me this. So when you come to me, someone who worked for everything in life, and you say, can you buy me this? I say, hey, you're playing the wrong game. Yeah. You get that point?
So
Yeah, something like that.
let me put you on the sport. Back to MMA, right? So my MMA philosophy is, if you want to be a well-rounded MMA fighter, you should certain skills, which is okay. We all know MMA is striking, grappling, and would I say wrestling? So the background to master, to be a well-rounded fighter, for me, I'll say kickboxing or Muay Thai, wrestling, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But what would you be your three disciplines?
Trust me,
Your top three disciplines?
a complete fighter should do wrestling and then feel a boxing thing. Trust me, if you wrestle in your life, you are a dangerous man, 80% already. And then when you
So
train to just box, then now you're applying some. But trust me, a wrestler is someone who can break your bones. Because strikers, when you say I'm gonna be a striker, you're not learning to be hit back. Yeah. So if you wrestle, it's like it's physical every time. Different people, different strength, you know, getting squashing another man. But if you learn to strike, you will find yourself, guys say head movement at distance. It's because they are trying not to be hit, but only hit. But if you find someone who is close to you, that's why we call it combat sport. We have to be close, hitting each other. So I would say, if your background is wrestling and then you just learn few tips of striking, you'll be a dangerous guy in the world.
so for a wrestler, if they are able to say learn a bit of striking and add in to jiu-jitsu, right, they are going to be like world class
Worthless.
in
Worthless.
MMA.
Yeah.
Wow,
Because I
interesting
believe
stuff. Yeah.
I believe strikers will love to see them knocking people out. And it's nice to knock someone out without dropping a sweat, and you are enjoying after the fight. Come on. Imagine beating another dude like that. But the day you fight a wrestler, that's when everything changes
But it's called mixed martial arts for a reason.
for a
We're
reason.
mixing
Yeah.
the different arts,
Yeah.
right?
But
But
one thing I also noticed with these matchmakers, it's like we know this guy is a striker. So if we give him a wrestler, we're not gonna enjoy this fight. Come on, give him other strikers. Have you noticed that?
oh, like if you give a striker a matchup of striker with a wrestler, the wrestler would frustrate the striker,
A striker.
and it can
And
end up
then
being a boring fight.
a boring fight. Yeah, it's like a striker is always running and the wrestler is trying always to grab the legs. So it's like, what is happening here? I don't want to watch this. We want to watch people exchanging, when Keiichi is fighting. Yeah, we want to see something like that. Blood, spilling, yeah, punching each other's faces. Something like Ilya Tuporia punching the guys on the
Yeah,
face.
but that's what the fans pay for. That's what the fights
But
the
then,
fight
but then,
fans pay
but then
for.
the
They want to
problem is,
see people engage.
but the problem is within the fighters now, like, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to win.
Uh-huh.
uh
Yeah,
But
the
I,
fighters
I
are there
think
to
for
win,
my
and they
side,
want to fight safe.
yeah, I think for my side, if you're an athlete, a martial artist, you must have a time where you want to win, and then a time where you want to display certain skills also in the cage.
I did not quite cut that. There's a time you want to.
So I say, is if you're a martial artist, you need to have a time where you want to win so that you can be on a certain level. But after that, you also need to display different types of certain skills in the world. You know what I mean? On network, you get it.
So if you're a martial artist, there's a time you need to do what? I think the network is restored now, so we can continue.
You get me, right? Can you hear me?
You were trying to explain something that if you're a martial artist, yeah, I can hear you
Yeah.
now. I can hear you now.
I was
Or
saying,
can you
if you're
hear
a
me?
martial artist, the networks I think the network is jealous of us. Are you getting me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
So
I'm telling you, because the network is trying so hard to mess up an interesting
uh,
conversation. The last thing I heard was, if you're a
don't
martial
worry.
artist,
We're gonna
there's
catch it.
something you should do,
We're
but
gonna
I
catch
didn't
it.
catch what you should do. I'm like, okay, I'll wait,
Mhm.
I'll wait.
Okay. So I was saying, as a martial artist,
I
at the
think
beginning of your
I think I
career,
can hear you now.
you need to be winning by any means necessary. Yes, I think your side is freezing. Now you can hear, right?
I can hear you.
Okay, let me repeat. I was saying, as a fighter, at the beginning of your career, you need to win by any means necessary. But then
Yes.
there is a level whereby you need to start to showcase skills that you've acquired
Oh.
over the years, that there is these things like these they can apply in a real fight. That's when I would say a martial artist has grown. It's no longer about just winning, it's about showcasing the skill for people to enjoy your fights.
Mm. Mm. I totally agree with that. I think yesterday on the preview we did for UFC Saudi Arabia, I was saying that there is a reason why it's called mixed martial arts. It's an art, right? And
Yeah,
as an MMA fighter, you're not just a fighter, you're an artist. So you need to present your body of work, right, in an artistic way. And the skills that you exhibit are the art. That's the reason why
exactly.
it's called art. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you need to have an expression of the skills. And I'm so happy that you agree. What you say right now is corroborating with what I was saying yesterday. You
As
need to display that skill.
the problem now is in some promotions, in different promotions, if you try to showcase your skills, you might make a mistake and then lose the fight. Now you are
Yeah.
irrelevant. You're no longer relevant. So some
Yeah,
guys they
because
stick to
people are
one thing,
hungry.
like I just wanna win. But let's say you are fighting in the biggest stage. You don't need to be emotional. It's time to, if you're a talker, like Conor McGregor, talk a lot. If you're an actor, act a lot. If you some funny things to do them on the stage, because it's not just about fighting and winning. It's about making people happy, make people, want to see you more. So I'd say, yeah, I'm seeing some guys there that are really trying to showcase the skills.
Uh, I totally agree with you. Like it's essential to be authentic. Just be yourself, and But the thing is, the expression of your skills, the expression of your art, has to also be effective and efficient. And I think that's why you guys do a lot of training, a lot of drills, repetitive, actions. There's muscle memory. So once you've done this, over and over and over again, it becomes like second nature to you, and you need to ensure that what you're doing is working, because what you're doing is not working. As much as it's a sport, it's a business as well.
It is, it is
You
true.
get that's where we need to balance the whole thing out, right? But for you, when it comes to MMA, like you're champion Brave CF, what do you see is next for you? Like, are you looking at maybe defending the title a couple of times, or moving to the UFC? Because I want to see you in the UFC, even if you don't want to talk about it. I want to see you in the UFC,
Of
and
course.
of course, I want
So
to see you fighting the guys in the top 15. There's your compatriot, Cameron Simon, in the UFC right now,
yeah, yeah.
and he has fought quite a couple of high level guys. What would you say is next for you?
For me, man, I'll tell you the truth. I go according to the opportunity. If I get an opportunity, for me to have an opponent, it's an opportunity. That's what I tell myself. I don't go to the gym to train every day. Tell myself that I'm scared to fight this guy. You know what I mean? I don't say I want to build a record. It's business. I always tell myself that if I get a fight, I'm happy. That's when I said, now I'm leaving. So I'll defend as many as I can in Brave. Any opportunity that I'll get, I'll take anyone in front of me. Trust me, I'll try to do my level best, the level best that I've never done before. I always try to, even my body mass, the bone structure. I'm getting better and better, so I could more to do, like in that cage, for me, I'm like, this is where I belong and I can't wait to do great things.
Of course, by God's grace, I can't wait to see you do great things. Let me see. Is there any fighter, past or present, in the UFC that you would like to fight? You think your style matches up really nicely with this person?
Actually, there is two. And it's
Well, spill the beans. Let us go. Let us
so
go.
so I would say I always wanna show that I'm the best. So I would wanna strike with a striker, fight with a
Oh,
striker and win the fight. Striking only, nobody's taking nobody down. In end of that fight, I'm the winner. And that
the
guy,
striker. That was the guy
I,
on my mind. That was the
exactly.
guy.
So if I find him, I'll just say, I want to strike you until we finish the fight. And at the end of the fight, I'm going to be the winner. So
Wow.
that one, I won't say I'll knock him out or I'll do anything because whatever it is, a TKO, a knockout, but I know one thing, at the end of the fight, I'm going to be the winner. And then
What?
number two,
Okay, the number two. Number two, give me a hint. Give me a
number
hint.
two, for now, say, Henry Cejudo, because he's an Olympian wrestler. So I would want to
Yeah.
wrestle him only. No one is standing. We're going to wrestle each other on the ground until I win again. So I'd say, I want to fight the best wrestler and wrestle better than him. I want to fight a striker and strike better than him. That's all. That's my.
Wow. Interesting stuff. But what do you think about Merab, the machine,
Miran is he
current
mix it.
champion?
So, he's like me. You can mix it up. You can wrestle. He's got gusting. He's smart. And he's not emotional when he fight. That's why sometimes he doesn't get too much tired. He's not trying to finish you. He's trying to enjoy the moment. So that kind of guy is like me. So I'll say that one is going to be a crazy fighter because we have to bleed in that cage. We have to go crazy on each other until it's crazy, man. Oh, whether it's not. Can you get me?
The network is jealous of this conversation again. The network is jealous of the conversation again. I couldn't hear anything, I think, for like the past 1 minute.
Yeah. So I was saying, Mirabu is like
Can you
me.
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I said the network is jealous of the conversation again. I couldn't hear
Yes.
anything for like the past 1 minute. I'm like, what is happening? Well,
Yes.
okay. I know you want to fight Sean O'Malley. You want to fight
Henry Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo. You think Merab is
No,
really
it's just like me.
solid, right?
It's just like
And
me. You can mix it up.
well
Can get,
balanced. Yeah,
yeah, it's
he
balanced.
can mix
So
things up.
fighting someone
But
like that is gonna be a
did
bloody
you
match.
think Umar was it Umar or Usman now? That's Umar. Nurmagomedov? Yeah, the last guy
In
that fought
network,
Merab.
eh?
That's Umar. Am I correct? The,
Come
the the
again.
guy who fought
Come again.
the guy who fought Merab, the guy who fought Merab last. That's Umar, Khabib's cousin,
Yeah.
right? Am I correct? That's
Yes.
Umar, the guy that fought Merab.
Yeah.
Do
Umar
you
is the
think?
young brother. He's the young brother. Yeah.
Oh, he's Khabib's younger brother.
Yeah. He's Khabib's younger brother.
Oh, I was thinking he was a
Yeah.
cousin to Khabib. Oh wow. So, did you think he stood a chance against Merab? Because a lot of people thought Umar was going to beat Merab, but I had my money on Merab to win because I know the stuff Merab is made of. So if you need evidence, there is video evidence. There's evidence from my betting site that my money was on Merab, right? Because I know the stuff Merab is made out of. He's more experienced and he weaponizes cardio. Merab can weaponize cardio. I don't understand what he does to sustain his cardio. His cardio is extremely, extremely good. So what were your own thoughts going into that fight? Were you thinking that Omar was going to win, or did you think Merab was going to win?
No, I knew Merab was gonna win if he's not gonna be finished. So I know that Umar is gonna rush to finish him, and Merab is gonna hang back, relax, calming his mind, cooling himself down so that he does not get tired. So, and exactly the way he did, That's what I expected. Wow, what's wrong with this network? Okay, connect my desk. Yeah,
Okay, you said you knew Merab was going to win, right?
yeah.
So one thing with Merab is Merab knows how to weaponize cardio, and that's really, really amazing to me. Wow, he's very, very good at that. But tomorrow we have UFC Saudi Arabia. My boy, your boy, Israel Adesanya returns to face Nasruddin Imavov. How do you see that fight playing out?
Like me, I've been an underdog for long, so sometimes I just go with underdogs. This network. Yeah. This network is jealous of us. Yeah.
The network just keeps
The network.
getting in the way.
The
Okay,
network,
you were
man.
saying something about underdogs or something. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah. So I was saying, I've been an underdog for long, all my fights. I'm rooting for underdog. Vinicius is going to smash.
So you're rooting for Imavov?
Of course, man.
No way. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight you. Brave CF, please arrange this fight. Adebola versus Nicholas. You have to step up from bantamweight to lightweight because I cannot cut weight to bantamweight. I walk around as a welterweight, right? So I'm going to cut down to lightweight and fight you at or fight you at lightweight. Come up from bantamweight to lightweight, and let's have this fight at lightweight. And of course, that's gonna be a special fight for Brave CF.
Hey, that'll be crazy one.
I will see you soon. No way,
man.
I'm rooting for Adesanya. So if okay, let's have a mini bet, right? So if Adesanya wins, you're actually going to send me some rands, and if Imavov wins, I will have to send you some rands. So
the problem of this fight of Adesanya.
What do you say?
I think Adesanya is durable and is good. I'm 100% sure that he's gonna win the fight. But if it happens that the guy took him down and forced him to fight on the ground, you know what's gonna.
Let's wait. One more sleep, and we'll see.
So we don't want a fight like that. That like if the guy takes Adesanya down, it's gonna be different.
One more sleep. But in the event, I'm actually not looking past Imavov, but I strongly believe Adesanya is going to dispatch Imavov. And in the event that Adesanya beats Imavov, it means we are looking at the possibility of having Adesanya versus Dricos 2. So
that one will be difficult again. The fight I want to watch. Dricos with this guy
Chimaev. Wow.
Yeah, Strickland is gonna. Chimaev is a scary guy.
So UFC 312. You think Dricos beats Strickland? 100%. So Dricos beats Strickland, and definitely, if Dricos beats Strickland, they would likely, I think, more likely than not, set up Dricos versus Adesanya 2. Chimaev is in the waiting, but it's difficult doing business with Chimaev because his health issues, visa restriction issues. Chimaev cannot fight in America, in Canada.
There is no other way. They fight in Abu Dhabi.
So how many times did they organize this things in Abu Dhabi, right?
That's crazy. Or maybe that's when they need to come to Africa now, to South Africa. Since they're now at promise that one time we are going to Africa, at least we want UFC in South Africa.
Yes, it's high time we had a UFC Africa. What do you why keeps telling us it's going to happen next year, but how do you see it playing out, UFC Africa?
It's difficult, man.
Who would you like to see? Who would you like to see on that?
Oh, I would want Africa and versus any other country. So
who are the guys? Who are the guys you'd like to see on the card?
I would want to see all of the red card Africans, blue side, any other country.
And of course, there's that possibility that it probably happens maybe later this year or next year. And you know what? I might just be talking to one of the guys that's going to be on UFC Africa. Because I think, if the UFC comes to Africa with a pay-per-view, right, we have an African champion, and there's that possibility of having, the rematch of the two African champions. in South Africa.
Wow.
And, we have people like you at bantamweight, fighting one of the ranked contenders in the UFC. I think it's going to open a lot of opportunities for African fighters by the time they bring in UFC to Africa because they'll want a stacked card. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, Africans, I know we fight. Come on, we have it in our genes. We are strong. We strong people, and we are crazy. We come from nothing, and given such an opportunity, we go crazy. It's no longer like a child. Some children when you buy a certain toy, they're like, daddy, I don't want this. I want another one. Now we know that when you get a stone, a shiny stone, it's a good present for you. So to be in a big Africans, they give their best. So if Dana White, UFC come to Africa, if they collect that cream from Africa, like, come on, you will have proper fighters because I believe UFC is it's a big organization that is having a lot of useless people. Lot of useless people. Like I saw some guys welterweight. I'm like, I can fight this guy. I can fight with lightweight guy. I'm like, how come you fight? How did you get an opportunity to fight in UFC? So some guys I don't deserve to be.
Actually, very funny. It's actually been quite a great time, even though the network has been getting in the way. So, did you have like any final words, for your fans? Do you want to say shout out to anybody before we call it a wrap today?
Well, I just want to say shout out to my 7th of June in Slovenia. I'm going to defend the belt against a crazy opponent. 4 wins, 2 losses. A striker, a wrestler, a well-best athlete, like he's good at everything. And I can't wait to fight the best of the best in Europe. It's going to be my first time though. So guys, I'm
Wow.
gonna train like crazy, and if you miss this one, come on, you can't miss this fight. It's gonna be the
So
biggest of them
it's
all.
taking place in Slovenia, right?
Taking
Slovenia.
place in South.
Okay. I think if I do plan well around it, I could possibly be there. Slovenia. Let me check. London to Slovenia. How long does that take? Slovenia. Let me see the flight time. The ticket's actually not even expensive, but I need to check how long it takes. What's the flight time? 1 hour 30 minutes. Wow, it's not long. That's fine. Okay, that's interesting. So, of course, I wish you the very, very, very best. And of course, thank you for sparing your time to be on the pod today. I can't wait for this to be out. So it's high time we start to work on chopping it up and putting it out there. And of course, I want Ijola Adesanya to win tomorrow.
100%.
Of course,
100%.
if you've been here listening to us, please follow Nicholas on social media. Follow us, subscribe to the channel. What's your Instagram handle?
It's Nicholas Hwende.
Okay, Nicholas Hwende, MMA. Of course, I do follow you, and it's been great. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate
Very much.
your time. Whoa.